Hey everybody, David here, and today I'm going to be doing my list for my top 10 Ryan Reynolds films. Now, I'm going to admit I haven't seen every Ryan Reynolds films. As a matter of fact, I had a list of total of 14 movies that I've seen of his. And some of them might not be considered his best, and the two at the bottom, I'm going to say, are two that didn't have very good scores with me. But I had nothing else to put on this list, so they made the cut. So we are going to get through this right now, all 10 movies. I'll throw in my little thoughts like I usually do. And comment below and tell me your lists, guys. I'm very curious of what other people have on their lists. And maybe there's always movies that I should be checking out. And if you have a movie on your list that I don't, that's awesome, because that will maybe get me curious to go check that movie out, especially if you guys are saying it's good. And I know there are some movies out there that I haven't seen that people say it's good. One movie in particular I heard was like the movie called Waiting. It starred Ryan Reynolds. I think it came out in 2005. I bought it on DVD a long time ago, but I never watched it. So it's sitting on my shelf, a movie that I bought. It was recommended to me by one of my cousins, and I just never bothered to see it because I've never been in the mood to see it. And I heard it was a really good, funny movie. Maybe one day I will. Maybe I should have before I did this video, but whatever. So here are my top 10. Let's get right into it. At number 10, I have Blade Trinity, the worst of the Blade movies. The one where it showed David Goyer should stick to writing and not directing. Ryan Reynolds was great in it. Jessica Alba was great too. But yeah, that movie suffered. I liked Wesley Snipes as Blade, obviously, because the first two Blade movies were so good. It's just, I don't know, man. That one was a mess of a movie. Moving on to number 9, I have Green Lantern. I really wanted to love this movie when it came out to theaters back in 2011. And I defended it even after I watched it the first time. I was like, yeah, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. And then as time went on, I was like, okay, maybe it's not that great. So moving on to number 8, I have Pokemon Detective Pikachu. This one's actually pretty good. I actually think this one's a pretty sweet little movie, and I'm not even a huge Pokemon fan, and I thought it was good. A lot of it to do with Ryan Reynolds himself. I thought his voice as the voice of Detective Pikachu suited the film well, and I thought it was a lovable little character. I thought that the two human characters were pretty good. It was interesting getting into that world, although it probably wasn't the type of Pokemon movie I was looking forward to see, because even though I wasn't a huge fan of the cartoon, it did get me used to the idea of seeing these characters going out and doing these Pokemon battles. And this movie didn't really give us too much of that, and it was more of a detective mystery trying to find out what's going on. And I probably would have enjoyed it even more the traditional way, if you will. But whatever, it was a nice movie and surprisingly pretty good. So moving on, I have the movie called Turbo, which was from DreamWorks Animation, where Ryan Reynolds did the voice of a snail. And yeah, I don't remember the movie too well, but I remember enjoying it, and that's why I put it up here. I remember finding it pretty funny, so yeah, there you go. At number 6, I have X-Men Origins Wolverine. I am probably one of the few people that will say that I actually enjoy this movie. And look, I get the Deadpool situation in the movie, and it's funny I'm doing a Ryan Reynolds list, and this movie happened to make the top 10. And some people will be like, what are you smoking, David? And I'm like, I don't care. I find the cheesy stuff in this movie great. I love it. I don't mind cheese with my movies. And I think this movie does the cheese right. So even when it goes all Mortal Kombat Annihilation at the end, I ate it up. So there you go. I'm unapologetic about loving X-Men Origins Wolverine. So there you go. Even if the cast and crew are embarrassed of it, I'm like, I don't care. Moving on to number five, I have The Croods: A New Age. I saw this movie last year. I didn't see it in theaters. I think I saw it when it became available to buy on Blu-ray. And yeah, no regrets, man. I thought this was a surprisingly very charming, fun movie that lived up to the original, which I have at number four. That's right. The Croods number one is at number four on my list. So I have The Croods and Croods A New Age back to back on this list. The first Croods obviously is slightly more enjoyable because it's more original at the time. I can sometimes like sequels more than the originals, but in this case, I do think the original is slightly better than the second one. I felt the second one did some fun stuff too, but the first one is definitely it was a nice introduction to those characters. And it was a nice movie to also hear Nicolas Cage in too, so I'm gonna give it props on that. At number three, I have Hobbs and Shaw. Now Ryan Reynolds doesn't really have a big role in Hobbs and Shaw, but the little bit of screen time that he does have is really cool. Overall, I do enjoy that movie. It's probably my favorite Fast and the Furious movie, if you will. And look, the interaction between Ryan Reynolds and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, it's getting me really excited to see their next movie that they're doing together on Netflix with Gal Gadot. So I'll admit, I can't wait to see more of that interaction between the two. And it all started in Hobbs and Shaw. Don't forget that. At number two, I have Deadpool 2. Yeah, Deadpool 2, I really love. I think it's one of those movies similar to The Croods: A New Age that is just as good as another movie, or almost as good as another movie. I'll admit, though, this one isn't quite there, but I did like the story a lot with Deadpool in this movie after the shocking twist in the beginning that I don't want to spoil if nobody's seen Deadpool 2 yet. Although the movie came out in 2018. If you haven't seen it yet, what the heck is the matter with you? And make sure you watch Deadpool 2 and not the Christmas special edition that they did where they edited it and only the things that came out good in that version was Once Upon a Deadpool. The only thing that came good in that version was the newly filmed scenes that they did, but the edited scenes are terribly done in that version of the movie. If you want to see the movie proper, watch the original cut of Deadpool 2, not the edited version. For some reason, I guess they wanted to cash grab on the younger audience to come and see Deadpool also. But Deadpool 2, yes, I love it. I love Josh Brolin in it. I love Zazie Beetz in it. I think the whole cast was great. The returning cast and the new cast. So hopefully Deadpool 3 happens, but this time in the MCU. Finally, at number one, of course, Deadpool 1. Slightly better than the second film. Obviously, this movie had a lot of heart, a lot of humor, a lot of dramatic moments as well, all mixed into one. More comedy than drama, but still, when the drama was there, it was great and it worked really good. And the chemistry between the two leads, obviously Ryan Reynolds and I forgot how to pronounce her last name, but she was great in it too. I remember her from Gotham, and I know she was in Firefly too. She was great as the main leading lady, if you will. Yeah, they were definitely, that relationship was one of the few relationships in these superhero movies that work really well, and that's why this is at number one. I think I think that's it, guys. That's my top 10 Ryan Reynolds movies. So tell me what you think. Are there any movies that you're surprised made this list? Remember, I haven't seen every Ryan Reynolds movie in the world, but these are some, the 14 that I didn't have on here, like the Michael Bay one that came out on Netflix. That one, thank goodness, didn't make my list. It almost did. What was there was one with not Jason Bateman. Was it Jason Bateman? I don't remember who he is. The guy from Ozark. I think it's Jason Bateman. That movie didn't make my list. That was terrible. And RIP, R-I-P-D. That one with Jeff Bridges, that one was probably the worst one that I have ever seen. And I bought that movie on 3D Blu-ray. I've only seen it once, and even though I love 3D, that's one that I probably wouldn't mind. I mean, that I would, yeah, I wouldn't mind never seeing it again, just sitting on my shelf collecting dust. So I love Ryan Reynolds, though. Ryan Reynolds is awesome, and I'm always rooting for him whenever I hear he's in a new movie because I do think he's a really good actor. And lately, I'll say more of his recent films I've enjoyed more than some of the other films that I've seen of his. But then again, I never really watched too much of his older films, so I don't know. I think it was starting with Green Lantern where I was really paying more attention to him, and noticing him popping up in things more. So yeah, I'm always looking forward to him and rooting for him. Plus, he's Canadian, man, and Canadians, we are the best, and we gotta stick with our own kind. Well, we can stick with the Americans too. We can stick with anybody, but Canadians, I mean, there's something special there when you find out that someone was born in the same country as you. So that's pretty awesome. So with that being said, guys, I hope you like this video. Please remember about my Patreon supporters. I wasn't going to forget about them. I love my Patreon supporters. These are the people that support this channel and that are helping out by donating to a monthly subscription. Whether it's a $5 tier or a $10 tier, either of these will get you a credit at the end of each video like you're seeing right now. And one day I'll update the $10 one because I do want to update it for anybody that's supporting the channel, and they deserve to have a little bit more, especially if you're going to help donate more, like $10, $5 extra than just getting an end credit scene. But right now it's really there to just for any generosity. If anybody can help me a little bit more, it'd be very much appreciated because I want to get bigger and better, and I want to focus more on this channel if I can. But if I can't, hey, this is the best I can do. And you know what also helps? If you can't donate anything, at least like every video you see, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and just send a link out to people and let other people know about the videos that I post up. Like, tell people to check out this video right now. Maybe there's other people that love Ryan Reynolds and wants to see a top 10 list of his films and see if I'm an idiot or see if, hey, this guy has pretty good, decent taste. Whatever. So with that being said, guys, like the video, subscribe to my channel, which I already said, so I don't know why I keep repeating myself. But until next time, take care.